I'm host Eric from Talking with Famous People. It's been a while since I've live streamed. Um, Feeling generally quite, I guess, not very interested in live streaming. I guess it's probably a lack of interest that links to I guess a lack of interest among viewers, prospective viewers. I've been thinking about maybe making some. Let me give that to me.
Excuse me. This stuff is good.
Yeah, it's good, right? So, anyways, we've been harvesting some of the earlier done of the plants that I got outside. And number two, which I suspect is Northern Lights. I really am quite fond of it. Anyhow, we're going to be cooking some Mexican burritos for dinner tonight. It's going to be a short stream. We're just going to prepare the Mexican burritos, and then Rachel and I will eat those while watching some TV or something. It's sleepy week, obviously, so I'm not feeling super enthused about anything in particular. But I figured I'd check in briefly here with by streaming this dinner I'm about to prepare. I'll bring up the stream on the big screen in case anybody decides to chat. But this is pretty consistent with what I've been experiencing lately with streams, which is a total lack of viewers. So that's fine. I just want to cook some dinner tonight anyway, and figured I'd check in with the interwebs. I also kind of am aware of this, but I don't stream for a very long time, that there are going to be people around the channel who start to wonder what's going on. Because I have a history of generally streaming every couple of days or a few days at least. All right, let's get started by getting myself another cup of coffee. I'm going to the kitchen. We'll serve another coffee. I'll put some cream in there. And then we'll take a look at what we're going to be working with in terms of ingredients and such for tonight's Mexican burrito cook extravaganza, you might call it. I'm going to be cooking with such extravagance and flair. Okay. Served myself some more coffee. That's a good start. And then I'm going to prep the coffee with a little bit of creamer here to give myself full coffee awareness syndrome. I think I might even get a belt for these pants so that I can cook without my pants falling down. Seems like not an unreasonable thing. There we go. Nice scoop of non-dairy creamer. We really need to go to the store, but that's going to have to wait a day or two because I don't feel like going anywhere right now. All right. Now, start with this little thing of ground beef here. It's frozen, so the first step is going to be defrosting this. I'm going to put the ground beef in this pan here and just start cooking away. I'm going to add a little water to this. I'll make it so you can see what's going on, obviously. As per, yeah. There we go. All right. So I think while that's beginning to cook a little bit, I'm going to go put on a belt. Let's do that. Let's walk in here. Let's put on a belt. As you can see, I've got absolutely zero traffic here. Just absolutely zero. So, in some fashion, I've fallen in disfavor with YouTube. I'm not sure how or why. But, you know, YouTube's YouTube. Where have you been? I've been, I guess, responsive to the lack of traffic, and thereby kind of discouraged from streaming a bit. Not really feeling like it. I've been feeling like doing maybe some other kind of long form videos for the channel, but I haven't really, not feeling it that much to actually do it, you know? So, it's sleepy week, and besides, I'm just not feeling it. But I felt it enough today to stop in and stream just so that I could address those questions of where have you been kind of stuff, I guess. Now I've got a belt on, my pants won't fall down, and I can resume with this cooking process. All right, let's take a gander at what we got going on. We got this ground beef starting to heat up. Of course, it's frozen. So we're going to need to put a little water in the bottom of it so we can defrost it and get it broken apart and stuff without it burning. All right. One of the issues here, though, that I'm having, I can smell that I didn't clean this pan as well as I should have. It smells like refried beans still from last time. But that'll have to do. Alright, there. Now we need a little more water in here, I think. Let's let that go for a bit. Okay, let's go in here. Let's pull a rewarding bong rip. I don't even see anything in the live chat on the screen. I don't know why not. Oh, there they are. What do you look for from a stream experience? I guess engagement with people, you know, mostly. It depends on the specific stream. Sometimes what I look for is just impetus to do some chores, maybe, you know, depending on the stream. Sometimes I might be, it used to be the case that I'd stream to talk things out more when I had ideas that I wanted to express or talk out, but I no longer feel very satisfied by doing that. I guess I think that at this point, it's just kind of a waste of time. I remember when I felt this way about engaging with other people in a live capacity, right? I used to enjoy engaging with people a lot in a live capacity too, but I got tired of it. You know, it's like I exhausted all the satisfaction there was from that after a certain period of time. Like, I mean, by live, I mean like on video conference. I mean, I guess to some extent it's I live stream in order to stay connected with a group of people that include you, Alec T, and Mean Bird, and a variety of other people who come around here regularly. Um, but I'm probably it probably doesn't make for an especially compelling media experience unless I've got something that I'm enthusiastic about talking about in particular, uh, or at least if I'm bringing a certain kind of energy. It might be positive kind of like enthusiastic about life energy in certain, not necessarily in this stream, but in certain other instances. And in that case, I can understand why people would want to potentially spend time engaging like this. But I recognize that I would like to make media, and that this doesn't comprise making media really. This is very it's very much like a candy style diet. It's not necessarily very nutritious for my soul to do this. All right, let's go on to the next step of food. What are the different things you think you've observed that people want from you here? Um, Not sure I've really paid a lot of attention to that express question, but I mean, I think I probably, listed the things. I suspect that probably the most significant thing is that it it be experienced by others as a pleasant time with pleasant people, or interesting and action packed potentially, depending on how much stuff's going on in the chat and how much I'm responding to, and how provocative the topics are and stuff like that. The thing is, people are really quite sensitive about their media. I know I am too. There are things I don't want to hear about, things I don't want to see, things I'm engaging in a particular familiar piece of media because it can reliably be anticipated to provide a certain kind of media experience. When I turn on Naked and Afraid, I want to see Naked and Afraid, regular Naked and Afraid, not some variation of it that's not as good or something. But at the same time, I would say that I guess consistency between live streams is not really the problem, except that there's a lack of consistency within live streams. You're never really sure what mood you're going to get depending on the moment in the stream and a bunch of other things. So if you're viewing it for some kind of emotionally consistent viewing experience, then it's probably disadvantaged. And I'm not sure people are ever not going for that emotionally consistent media experience. It's also the case that once something's been unpleasant enough, you probably won't even come back to it ever again. YouTube also, I think that YouTube algorithm, it's a finicky the finicky bits, you know. Alright. So then I'm just going to let this ground beef, and not a ton of ground beef, I'm just going to let the water reduce here. Get rid of that water as much as possible. And then I'm going to put in a packet of taco seasoning plus a can of beans. I'll mix it all together. So we're going to open the can of beans. So this is going to be bean, meat, and cheese burritos because I'm feeling lazy. I could cut up onions, but I don't really feel like it. Alright, we got the can of beans open. So that's a start. Can of beans open. Just gonna let this boil down a bit. You let that boil down. Let's go over here for a second. Oh, Robert Balloof. Hi, Winston's mom. Is there going to be any salsa caliente in our Mexican burritos? No, I don't think we really have any right now.
No, we don't. It's old, actually. You know, think about it. I should probably throw it out.
We don't want to hear about your grossness, Robert Balloof. I mean, I get it, you know. Of course you may, Alec. Beggars can't be choosers, but I'm going to be a chooser anyway. What do you think makes me a man?
We do have salsa, but and it is good, but no, we shouldn't. I don't think.
If you want it, you can put it in yours.
No.
What do I think makes me a man? I don't know. Having a dick and balls is a pretty good answer. I don't have one of those, Robert Balloof. So. Okay. Do you have any sense of an answer beyond a biological one? Well, it's more like there are things that I would consider being like unmanly or unacceptable because of my masculinity. But that's a different question than what makes me a man, right? Like, I can imagine myself saying something like, oh, hell no, I'm not going to let that guy treat me like a little bitch. I'm not going to put up with meow, 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 meow. And that being an expression of masculinity. But, you know, having those boundaries isn't what makes me a man. You might say they're necessary but insufficient conditions for me, for my manhood, but I don't think that universalizes. It's a good question. And I think it's indicative of in general, how much more difficult it is to affirm a positive than it is to affirm a negative. Like, Okay, well, I'm not sure what makes me a man, but I'm sure that this is not man. Right? It's a lot easier to come up with those kind of things than it is to affirm a generality. Just boiling away all of this liquid here as best I can. It's getting there pretty good. Just get this water away as much as possible. Here we go. Spread it over a wider area, I guess it'll boil faster. Okay. Then we can mix this around a bit. Get it a little bit wet, it's fine. And then now we're gonna put in this taco mix. I think it's my amazing mastery of the chef arts, Alex Keith, that makes me a man. You see that expert use of taco flavoring? Now obviously, that is going to be too much taco flavoring for that amount of meat. But don't worry, because I've got this. To go in with it. That's right. It's a can of refried beans. And we're going to get this all mushed in together with all of this other stuff here. What's going on, Rachel? Oh, yeah, that's happened before. Oh, push on the back of the... I'll do it. Just give me a second. You gotta push the source input on the back of the TV. Okay. Okay. That's fine. Now, what we need to do next is get tortillas. And obviously, we don't want to just put this stuff directly into tortillas. Because the tortillas are cold. Let me wash my hands. Again, hot. Okay. 2, 3, 4. I think we need 4 tortillas. We're gonna make 4 small burritos, like little pinner burritos, or as they call them in Spanish, pineritos. Okay. So now that we've gotten that accomplished, we're going to turn this on, like now, and we're going to heat these tortillas up, just like this. Just one at a time. We're going to flip it, let it cook a bit, flip it, let it cook a bit, flip it. You don't want to burn it. You want it nice and warm and soft. Don't try to make a burrito with just a cold tortilla. That won't turn out good. Alright. Tortilla number 2. I'll put you on deck over there. If I wanted to be real trick, I tried to do 2 at once, but I'd probably mess it up. Hot, hot, hot. Hot, hot, hot goes tortilla. Hot, hot, hot goes the bell. Alright. Now we're cooking this one. Okay. Okay. Now, these burritos are going to have real Mexican flavor. Why? Because we're using authentic Mexican tortillas. Obviously, the key to a good tortilla heating is frequent flipping. Alright, that's hot enough. Now, we're going to bring this here. We're going to do one of these bad boys. We're going to get a little scoop right in the middle. It's basically like Mexican dim sum. That's burrito number 1. We're going to get a little scoop. We're going to put it in the middle. And that's burrito number 2. We're going to get a little scoop. Put it in the middle. And that's burrito number 3. We're going to get a little scoop. Put it in the middle. Is burrito number 4, and there's burrito filling enough for a 5th burrito. So we'll leave that there for the moment. We'll see if we're still hungry after having these burritos.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. It's not an oven? Okay, well, whatever you want to call it. Oven, stove, range, whatever. Put some cheese in that. I mean, you're not wrong, okay? You're not wrong. Tilly 0191. Alright, fine. Put a little cheese in my burrito. I'm going to take out 1, 2 of these. I think half of one of these per burrito is fine. Alright, here we go. We got a cheese here. Yeah. And the cheese here. Yeah. Alright.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome, welcome, welcome. Just break this cheese in half here. And then put it in this.
I'm afraid I'll make a mess.
I'll do it for you if you want. Here, on this one. This one's done.
Thank you. I still want to go to burrito.
I'm glad to hear it. Can you taste the real Mexican flavor?
I really can.
It's because I trained under the tutelage of Master Chef Juan Pedro Gomez. Gomez, Eric.
I want to call Delilah to say thank you for putting this post up about September is Suicide Month, Suicide Awareness Month, not Suicide Month, Suicide Awareness Month. And like I reposted it because I thought it was interesting.
That's definitely got a spicy Mexican flavor.
Mm-hmm.
That's our guest left, Jim Media. It was nice having them here.
Yes, it was.
They were fun till Daddy took the T-bird away.
Yeah.
Mmm. Yeah, they're wonderful. They seem very well matched with one another. Mm-hmm.
His name is Justin.
I think they both are ENFJs.
Yeah, I do too.
That's a real spicy meatball.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that taco seasoning was gonna make it so spicy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think INTJ females are more likely to become feminist? No.
Mm-hmm. I think ENFPs think they're feminists. They would be the ones who skip class to go protest something.
They're strong women.
But INTJ, you'll find them skipping class to compete with someone against chess. Yeah, there's a lot of FE love between them. Me and Danzy had a lot of stuff to talk about when it came to like woo things. She was talking about like Dolores Cannon. I was like, oh my god, someone knows Dolores Cannon? They don't wish they were a guy. They just come off as like, I wouldn't say they come off as less feminine, but they don't put like extra effort into their looks because they're not FE. Thank you.
One thing with psychoanalysis is that there are plenty of psychoanalytical terms that I think are very useful, like projection versus displacement. For example, if I'm mad at one thing, but I'm not very good with my emotions, I might express anger at somebody else near me. It has nothing to do with the thing I'm actually mad at. That's displacement. Whereas if I'm telling somebody else that they're guilty of the thing that I'm guilty of, that's projection. So I think those kind of distinctions are good to make.
I wonder what I do more of.
You occasionally displace, I guess, a little
Yeah,
bit,
displace.
but
I don't really focus
you
on
don't
that stuff
project.
more.
You don't do a lot of either of those things. What do you think is
No,
Freudian
I
slip?
really don't. But if I had to choose, not if I had to choose, but if like someone asked me if I was more
Mm.
one. I put my camera on. I do da do da do da do.
Do do do. Do 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 do. I mean, one other thing also is that there's utility from a psychoanalytical perspective. If you're analyzing someone's psychology from a third party perspective, right? Or having a distinction between conscious and either un or subconscious, or maybe all three, right? So, like, if I'm not aware of my displacement, it doesn't change the fact that that's what I'm guilty of. I'm mad about one thing, but I'm displacing that anger onto something else that has nothing to do with the thing I'm actually mad at. Versus whether I'm accurately being mad at the thing I'm actually mad at, right? So that's a real distinction to make. Well, some of all, yes, my expression of defensible typology is falsifiable by a number of different metrics, which I could articulate but don't feel like right now. So, because there's a distinction between what people are self-aware of and phenomena that display a lack of self-awareness, there's a need for us to distinguish between levels of consciousness that people have about their own cognition and behavior or whatever. Four sides of the mind is a silly idea. It doesn't represent anything. Function is a word that means something specific, right? One executes a function. And there are different functions like there are in math. Multiplication, division, minusing, plusing. I mean, depends what you mean by psychoanalysis. If you mean like talk therapy, I think there are plenty of instances where talk therapy does people some variety of good. And sometimes it goes very awry too.
I've only had like one instance where talk therapy like was like, wow, I feel heard. But she came from having a child therapy background. I think she used behavioral. I don't know what she used with me, but she never let me feel like I was like in the wrong. Like she always made me understand where I was coming, like the things that I was coming at her with, like was coming from.
Hmm.
Yeah, like one time I told her like how like I was it was really like fucking it was shitty to be around a crowd of people who were drinking because uh it was just like the whole trip was annoying. Just it bothers the shit out of me, but I didn't know why because I was just like doing well because I'm like not drinking, but at the same time like I feel like I'm judging these people and I'm getting angry at my boyfriend and I can't figure out why. And she like I don't know. She was just like she's like I'm just like she just like made me. She like made me feel validated.
Well, the thing to remember there, some of all, is you cannot critique something without being specific, right? There are plenty of instances of individuals who will use cognitive function terminology and be guilty of the variety of cognitive biases and fallacies that you articulate there, right? But that's not a critique of it done correctly. You're just saying when things are done incorrectly, they're done incorrectly. Well, obviously.
What's a Chinese bow show media?
Psychoanalysis is done by false and suicides. Well, I mean, depends what you, it's not. I don't think it's purporting to be science per se. But the point is, we do analyze people's psychological phenomena, right? We have explanations for them. Some of those explanations are better than others. Some of them are just metaphor. Some distinctions are real, and that depends on how the distinction is made definitionally. I full credit out, man. What is somebody's manhood? Well, usually when the term's used, it means their penis. Like, she gawked at my manhood. But I don't know about MBTI. I would never try to argue in favor of MBTI. What I do is argue specific things in defensible typology. If you want to critique any of those specific things, you just need to go watch those videos, learn specifically what I say, and then come in with critiques of those specific things. If you don't have any such critiques, then shut the fuck up. You're not talking about shit I say. You're talking about something else. You want to argue the issue in general by pointing to how other people are wrong. Well, fuck off. You know, either actually do the work and research what I say, and then come and say, "Here you said meow 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 meow," and this isn't this bullshit because of meow meow meow. Fine, then I'll address everything. But you don't want to do that. You just want to kick up dust. It used to be a Ram when you had your Dodge Ram heavy duty pickup truck.
I feel like saying to Trouble like, don't stand, don't stand, don't stand so close to pee.
Yeah. Oh, he wants to be a dick. How important is masculinity in men, and is it something? I mean, yeah, it refers to something. It refers to something that one holistically understands as being a compilation of a variety of different sub sub masculinity qualities. One could taxonomy it better than I am now, obviously, but and one could taxonomy it worse or better as well. It's not like there's nothing there at all in terms of meaningful distinctions to be made. It's just always going to be known holistically. It's not deconstructible because you know the terms aren't meaningful enough, right? What is the right definition of NI, for example? Well, it's a knowledge function. If you want to model it sort of mechanically, you'd say it's a receive function, and it's the correlate of the protocognitive function Shape constancy. So what we've shown is babies develop two kinds of approaches to knowledge, something called object permanence and something called shape constancy. Introverted intuition represents shape constancy, that's the communicative way of knowing. In other words, the way of knowing that relies on what something is outside of oneself rather than what something is in relation to one's own subjectivity. Those distinctions are meaningful in a variety of ways that I could further articulate, but the point is, what are we trying to do first is the question. If we're trying to model something, and then we try to match it up with, say, specific empirics, like the variety of testing data I've developed and accumulated, then we can meaningfully falsify the ideas. But I don't think you want to do any of the work that will be required to be meaningfully engaging me about this. You want me to do all of my work again, just for you. But I don't want to do that. When you feel in touch with yourself and the way you actually behave, what is the thing inside yourself you've made direct contact with? When you feel in touch with yourself and the way you actually behave, I don't know what that means exactly. That one confuses me, Alex. When you feel in touch with yourself and the way you actually behave, I mean, I kind of feel like I'm always in touch with myself and the way I behave. Unless I'm in this pure, full blast state of flow, you know? Maybe then I'm not very self aware in those moments. But I see self awareness as the painful default alternative to doing something more significant. What if all babies feel like they're on LSD for a few months when they're born, but they can't say because they can't talk yet? Well, they would just feel like what they feel like. They wouldn't have anything to compare it against. Well, there are things we feel we should do, should think, should feel, and then there are things we actually do, actually think, actually feel. Heat, death, big bounce, or big rip? I don't know. Some of all. I don't think anybody knows how the universe began or will end. I think we have speculations, but I don't think we have any meaningfully, intuitively satisfying explanation for things. I'm gonna go with. Did one of my choices bong rip? I'll go with that one.
Can you make me a joint? That weed is really good.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Let me grind it up a bit here. And then I guess we'll watch a little bit of TV. We have an idea of the sort of person we are, but then there's the way we actually are. I mean, from my perspective, that's something I'm coming to terms with here in my 50s. Like, there's a lot of stuff from my past that I never really processed emotionally, I guess, or even intuitively, like, didn't understand it for what it was. And now I experience a lot of pain reliving those memories and stuff. It sucks, really.
I think of like things that I could have done better.
Me too, all the time. In lots of different contexts. And I think, but more importantly, I just think of, I feel like how horrible the world's suffering is more than it used to. The world is full of horrible suffering. And doesn't that suck? The answer, yes. Yes, it does suck. Well,
I don't even know what to say to that. Like, there's a lot of suffering in all different ways. People are
yeah,
definitely emotional suffering.
all kinds of ways. You know, I have a very complicated relationship with extroverted sensing too. Like I want to do things, but then kind of I don't want to do things. Oh, it was great. It was a great game, that boy Klaus. It was amazing. And the USC defense looked like a totally different team. Well, I mean, I see anything that's unjust is obviously hurtful on multiple levels. It's not just hurtful potentially physically, but obviously emotionally and sort of spatially. Yeah, Miller Moss. Miller Moss is looking pretty good. Here you go, Rachel.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. So, can I talk about astrology?
Sure, talk about astrology.
So, good astrologers will always say like having like a lot of good aspects in your chart doesn't necessarily mean that it's good, all good for you. And I never was like,
Once after you're done with the astrology.
um,
That
and
way
it was
you.
like that, like I was like, that can't be true. It must be so easy. It must be so lovely to like have no hard aspects and all easy aspects. But I recently saw the chart of Blake Lively, and someone did a reading of her birth chart on YouTube, and she has mostly trines, conjunctions, and sextiles, and it's like a really lucky chart. And the astrologer was like, "Oh, it's like she's basically Teflon. Like, so anything bad that happens to her, like, is just gonna like go right down. Like, it won't affect her at all." Um, and so, yeah, Blake Lively has a really easy chart, and it shows right now that nothing is affecting her because she hasn't apologized for anything that she's done ever, and like misses the big picture. She's completely tone deaf and extremely entitled and is totally unaware and like it shows in her birth chart. So it can be interesting to see someone who has mostly positive aspects in her chart not have things affect her, but not learn any lessons either.
Yeah, well, I sure do seem to learn plenty of lessons in my life.
It's good to learn lessons.
Yeah, but well, no, I don't think it should be avoided. I'm just saying, the old saying, no pain, no gain is biconditional. No gain, if gain, then pain.
Mm, you might get it in some ways, but like I don't know.
I'm just saying lessons learned tend to be painful. I guess these things could be used to be watered again. It's pretty hot today. They look pretty dry. I'm gonna water again because it's pretty hot today and they look pretty dry.
Yeah.
Mmm. Delicioso. I guess you could call these shrubberies. You think these qualify as shrubberies?
I don't know. I think a shrubbery is being like more thick and together.
You call these bushes?
I just think of it as weed, like weed plants.
Well, they are that.
They grow in any kind of conditions, pretty much.
Yeah.
And
It's not a finicky plant at all.
Mm-mm.
This one has quite some ways to go still. But it's starting to come in.
Should we let Cameron know an approximate date?
No, he told us a date already. So like
Oh, he did?
October 12th, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, October 12th. So, it's just so brown, you know? It's got so many brown hairs on it.
It's so thick too. Bushy.
Yeah.
So maybe they are bushes. The little buds look bushy, but like the plant itself.
Yeah. I think it would be fine to call these a bush or a shrubbery or I guess this is kind of leaning this way to get out of the way of this one. Get away, little bug. Nobody likes your little bug ways. Nobody likes you flying around. Nobody likes you little bug times. Nobody likes you little bugs.
I have to get coffee ready because I think we're gonna do like a Zoom with my brother, sister-in-law, and my sister this week. And I definitely, so my mom said 11 o'clock for me, so 2 o'clock for the Anthony, Victoria, and my mom, and
Tomorrow?
either tomorrow or Friday. I told them that Friday would be better for me, but I'm good for Thursday too. But I definitely want to have coffee for that because I'm gonna be tired.
How am I able to live this life? Because of an inheritance. That's why.
Thanks, Jonathan Earl. It's like, I don't know, what would you call this? I think it's like painted on.
I call that free people.
Yeah.
Free people dress.
Yeah.
It's like an INFJ's version of INFP.
Mm-hmm. I'm taking that as a compliment, just so you know.
Which you should, I think. You know.
Well, INFP can achieve this look without having to go to free people.
Well, but theirs is probably a little overstated.
Interesting, yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna wrap this up like a Christmas present, and Rachel and I'll watch a little TV. Let me finish answering Alex's questions first, though. What makes you happy? What makes me happy?
I feel like that's an unfair question to ask somebody that bipolar.
Well, good TV makes me happy. I really like it when we're watching a really good TV show, or if I'm just watching it myself. Like, recently I watched the new episode of Only Murders in the Building last night. That made me very happy. It was so good, so well written. Such a brilliant bit of just perfect media. Um, what else makes me happy? It's a lot easier to articulate things that make me unhappy than things that make me happy.
I can do it.
All right, go ahead.
You petting the kitties.
Me and petting the kitties make you happy?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I mean, it's easy to say that it's easy for me to say that I'd be unhappy without Rachel. But, it's like just Rachel by herself isn't enough to make me happy if I'm in a bad mood, right?
Okay, but I mean, like, I don't know. You do make me happy. Like, there's times where I'll be sleeping in bed and I'll turn and I'll see you, like, all cuddled up. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he's so adorable. Yeah.
Thanks. I think that about you sometimes too.
Uh-huh.
But that's a tough question to answer because I'm not sure what make me happy means exactly.
That's why I pet the cats so much. Like, it's the way that I show them, like, I love them.
Yes, I love you too, Capillo. All right, well, let's wrap this up. And, well, we've got some baseball coming up a little bit later on. In the meantime, I could even use a post dinner nap. Believe it or not,
I feel like I want to talk more.
You want to talk more?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Go for it. I think I might lie down for a bit.
Okay, I'll join you after.
Okay, do you want to make that shorter?
Yeah. Thank you. Eric's cooking and cleaning makes me happy too. Sale at like a store that I like that's expensive, that makes me happy too, but I don't always partake, but it makes me happy. Thanks, Show Media. I've been wearing it the past like 3 days, to be honest. It's very comfortable. I have two jean versions of it too. Thank you. I feel like I can maybe use a necklace, but yeah. So yeah, Alec, to you like really interested me. I was like, I always thought that like having all good aspects in, or mostly good aspects in your birth chart is like a really like lucky thing. Like, wow, like you have it easy in life. But through the lens of, or through seeing what Blake Lively is like, because like her tone deafness during the screening for her new movie, not screening but press junket, for her latest movie, It Ends With Us, is like bringing other people who have had interviews with her up, and like she seems like whatever, you know, she's what, honestly she's just like whatever, but it shows how like she hasn't taken accountability for like anything that she said. So you know, she, it's not bothering her, the things that she did and has done to people and her reputation. Except for the fact that she said that I heard allegedly she's not going to be acting anymore. She's done with it. I'm glad it cheers you up, show media. I can observe the lack of self awareness you talked about in Blake Lively. It's like she's sleepwalking. That's a good. She's smiling. That's a good way of putting it. She's sleepwalking and smiling at the same time. So it's like she's making all these mistakes, right? Things like she's like putting her foot in her mouth basically during this press junket, and she's not really learning from it. But enough people have told her at least to like not make a second film with her in it. You know, like you gotta be careful, you know, about what you say during interviews. Yes, it's true, Alex T. It does, it makes us approve of our hardships because they round us out. Right. Like it is good. I mean the hard falls, I feel like I learned something from, or I have learned something from. There are still lessons that I've like recently made that um I'm learning from. Uh like I used to like not like my birth chart. Um but it's true, like say like for instance, like I have Mars square Uranus, so I had to be really careful because I'm naturally clumsy. That's good, Alex T. I am very curious, so in my curiosity I learn. um I feel like this weekend, Eric had more questions than I did. He's definitely curious. He's a good. You can see how ENTP makes a good show host, talkster show host. Um, Usually I'll ask if I don't understand, like if Eric's talking about a subject, um, and I truly do not understand at all, I will ask questions. Hey, Bare Bones. I like your icon. What makes you have questions, Alex T? What inspires your questions? I took this test. My mom had me and my siblings take this test about personality, and she got loves to learn, and I got has a lot of curiosity. What do you think is the difference between curiosity and learning, a love of learning? When you socialize, do you ever come up with questions just so other people can share things about themselves? I'd say I'm not good at that. I don't. I will usually tell a story uh related to it, or sometimes I'll act, like if I'm stunned, I will say that I'm stunned and then ask, like, like why? Like why would that be? Um but like if someone came up to me and they were like, "Hey, yeah, I'm Joe and I'm an accountant and I'm 34." I wouldn't ask him why he's an accountant. I would just take it for granted and think that he was an accountant because he's always wanted to be an accountant. Yeah, so I think I am more curious than I am a learner. I had trouble in school. So, yeah, I tend to empathize with people when they talk about things. Like, if they're talking about something hard, I'll be like, oh my gosh, like, I can totally see where you're coming from. Um, like, that sounds like a really tough time. Or I can only imagine. And if I have an exact thing that they've gone through that I've gone through also, I'll share that story. But I don't really tend to ask questions because like I don't want to be too nosy. Like that's how I feel. When do you want somebody to keep going with what they're saying? I'll ask more questions. 100% I'll ask more questions. I really appreciate it when people will tell a story and take pause so that people can like interject. Um, I have that problem with uh yeah, like with people who I have conversations with that like they don't pause to let people interject to ask questions. That's tough for me. Because a lot of times if the story is being told, I might have a question about a certain thing, but my SI being eighth, like I'll have the question in my mind, but I'll forget it because I'll be paying attention, FE tool, to what they're saying, being polite. But I can't, if there's no room for questions, I get bored of what they're saying. So I ask questions to keep on. I will keep on asking questions to keep on going with the conversation. If not, I'm like totally cool, like sitting in the silence. Do you ever encounter a topic and think, I wonder what so and so thinks about this? I think to some degree I do. And I will ask questions to try to get them to express what they think about a certain thing. Um, and if I want to go into it more, then I will ask questions. But if I feel like it's a topic that I don't really know much about, or you know, I'll sit in silence. I'd rather sit in silence than like pretend that I know a subject when I really don't. I really try not to do that because I don't like, I don't want to be like putting on the airs, if that's like a good way of putting it. How about you? Like, how do you take in learning? Like, it seems like, what's more helpful and informative for you? Somebody's background or their current opinions of things? Their current opinions of things, 100%. Like, they can tell me about their background and where they've been, and I'll get a certain idea of what their character is, but I really want to know who they are in the current place and time. Like, uh, that's very important for me. Yeah, so how do you think about things? How do you keep if you want to learn more, how do you learn? How do you learn best, Alec T? I do a lot of self study, and I also interface with other people. So I collaborate by gathering data and bringing it to other people, or by formulating questions that give me more data. Ah, interesting. Hashtag show stats coming soon. Nice, Acacia. Hi, Acacia. What if the stats come in and they don't add up? What do I do then? What's the next thing to do? If the data comes in and it doesn't add up, so I can't do the stats. I had to take stats in uh, college and I barely passed. Thank you for the flower. It's such a cute emoticon. Show Media is still here. He drops good stats. I'd like to. If Show Media is here, I would like to know some good stats for sure. If there's somebody I know who I respect or admire, I might ask them about their understandings of things so that I could hear their view and make a decision. Do I agree or disagree? Do I keep or let go? Interesting. I feel like I tend to keep a lot. Like when people inform me of things, or like maybe say things a certain way, I will remember. Sometimes I really wish I didn't remember. Um, but if I don't address it, I'll replay it in my mind. So I have to write things down, really. I don't do it enough. I don't do it at all currently, really. But hey, Show Media with some stats. Hashtag hostess Rachel. Hashtag show us them stats show media. Yeah, hashtag show us them stats show media. Hi, Capillo. Mommy and Daddy love you. I'm going to show you something magnificent, guys. And gals. And everyone. That kitty friend. Capillo Strauss. We got to move her bed from her box from out of that corner. She hasn't complained about it though. Okay, sorry about that. I know she's cleaning herself. So I've been watching now, standard streaming 78 minutes ago. Wow, 78 minutes ago. Live stream podcast host Eric. Live stream podcast. That girl's on fire. Rachel, host Eric. Meow. Kitty, yeah. She is making sure she's got clean lines. Hashtag cute PO. Aw, cute PO. Yes, you are. Thanks for hanging out with mommy. I'm the worst at hiding, like, my smoking on camera. I keep forgetting. Hey, first last. Rachel, can you tell when you disagree with them, or do you keep your view to yourself? I keep my view to myself. Yeah, I like tea. I mean, unless if the person is talking negatively about something and I agree with them, I do express my opinion. But if I can't get a read, or if they, if they're passionate about something that I don't agree with, I don't really feel like fighting. So, honestly, I will keep to myself. Hello, Rachel. I would like to ask how it goes, but I've been here for a while because he's going well. LOL. Well, I did. Thank you. I'm glad you see that it's going well. Statted. It makes sense in my head. All that matters. When somebody is wrong, do you judge them? When somebody's wrong, do you judge them? Probably. I don't know. Like, is somebody wrong? Like Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein wrong? Those people I'll judge. Meghan Markle, yeah, I judge you. But like, someone who's like had a drug problem and like struggled in some way, like I don't judge, because I think everyone has a different sort of life, and it's easier for some than others, and like there are going to be things that happen in life to people that won't or haven't happened to me. Though I think, like I can relate to a lot of people. I like to vibe with people. But if they're wrong, do I judge them? I probably do, but again, I'll keep it to myself. Thanks, Alec T. No, I didn't feel like I if I didn't feel like I had wanted to answer, I wouldn't have. If I don't want to answer something, I will say that I don't want to answer it, or I don't acknowledge it. It's good to look because it's part of bodily awareness and bodily health. Everyone should show media. What makes us feel shitty spiritually? What's so funny? First, last. I'm missing something. Rachel, do you decide to treat people kindly, or do you feel like kindly naturally arises from your character when you interact with people? Um, I decide to treat people kindly. Uh, hmm. Unless it's someone like Harvey Weinstein or Jeffrey Epstein or Dr. What's his name, who produced Kesha's songs, Dr. something. Do it, scroll, scroll. You don't want to know, Rachel, don't scroll up. What makes us feel? I just don't understand what you're talking about. It's gross that you don't have to answer. I can't help but always look and examine. But maybe my life would be better if I didn't. I mean, I think it's not bad to reflect. I think it's somehow part of our nature to reflect. They say that it's easier to, for humans to look to the past and negative on the negative things than it is to focus on the positive. So it's easy to focus on the negative, but hard to focus on the positive. So I think that, ew. You want to know about that? I mean, that just feels like no one wants to know about. If I mean, look, yeah, Dr. Luke. Yeah, Dr. Luke. Yeah, it would really be hard for me to be like totally open and like feel good about like interviewing that person without like having some judgment beforehand just by like the way that they treat women. I mean, people poop. Colon health does matter. It does. It does. People poop. You can like blur it out. You don't necessarily want to see it. I mean, we're privileged to have sewage system that is like good in America. Hashtag thank God for America. Yeah, breaking news. People poop. No, you're not the only one. But I'm not the only one. Good, I'm so glad. Then we learned something here. And now I know what it's like to be Oprah and Dr. Phil. This weed that we got is really good. It's definitely the thing that's keeping me going. Hashtag the thing that's keeping me going. It's making me feel a little Ohio. Yes, peoplepoop.com. Doesn't that sound like a Rick and Morty thing? Peoplepoop.com. it does get the people going. When you're stuffed up, it's just like I cannot even move from the spot, or I have to unbutton my jeans, or wow, I really have to fart right now, but it's not coming out. Okay, I have a question for you guys. What do you think that it takes for someone to become famous in these times? So it's 2024, and like, what do you think is popular amongst people? Like, what qualities does a person have to have in order to like be popular? But what are the traits of the person that give them the public approval? OnlyFans? Well, I feel like having open accounts, even possibly TikTok. Yeah, alertness to the current culture, definitely. Charismatic, original, shocking. Yeah. You don't see many people like that. I mean, Chapel Ronan may be shocking for being like setting boundaries with her fans. Apparently that's what she's done. I think to some degree authentic. Not even to some degree, I think authenticity is highly valued in these days. Oh, I wouldn't want Frank James to be on meth. Is light beer diluted with water? You have to be of your time. Hmm. Yeah, of your time is very important. Or where you like are in your life. Like Eric says that like growth is like this. It like plateaus for a while, then dips, then plateaus for a while, then dips. So like when you're in those times of dips, it's important to know that you're going through that, like you're changing. I think those qualities are universal and don't change much over time despite the change in circumstances. The qualities being having something that nobody else has, or are a rarity within people, I guess. Hmm. I question though, like, how do you know like where the lines are? Like, what if you want to push them a little further? You know, if the lines are like, if you're in your lines and it's like not much for you, like, why not like expect more from life? I mean, unless it says limits. Oh, it is limit. It is light beer diluted with water. Elizabeth Taylor had violet eyes. She was known for that, and that was a rarity. Robin Williams was an ENFP and was like known for his wackiness. So in like that way, he was sort of like a television movie rarity. Thanks, Alec T. You too. It's just light and delicious. My limit is 3. It's gotten low as I've gotten older. More bubbles give you wings. I guess being a dog is rare because Airbud was made. Oh my god, fucking Airbud. The 90s had some wacky movies. Who wishes they were Bud and Airbud? I'm wondering if wishing you were Bud from Airbud equates you to Mr. Peanut Butter from uh, BoJack Horseman. Click, 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 indeed. Red Bull with vodka, strange effects. I can probably count on one hand how many times I've had Red Bull with vodka. Red Bull has some of the craziest videos on their current channel, and why are just an energy drink company. Capio and Trouble, they're the best. Unfortunately, they dislike each other very much. Trouble likes to dominate the room, and Capio tries to make room for herself in it. She is the upstairs though, so she's good. There's Squire Bubblingtons being like, yeah, this is my room. I feel comfortable here. The crunching is Capio. There's you guys. Yeah, kitty again. Do you have two cats? Cool. Do you have a girl and a girl, boy and boy, boy and girl? Trouble. Trouble is the boy and Capio is the girl. It's an ENFJ and an ISTJ. ENFJ, ISTJ. She's going up the stairs now. You have two cats in the yard. Life used to be so hard. Yeah, honestly, first last, you're absolutely on the nose. Two girls, one stray, one person. Trouble's a stray. Mr. Man Kitty Kitty Man is a stray. And Capio was with Eric. She was born right next to Eric. And she was the one left behind. No one, they couldn't sell her to anyone, so they kept her. Do you guys trust mirrors or do you use your phone to like take pictures? I 100% use my phone. I befriended a stray black cat and looked up all the symbolic meaning supposedly not everywhere. I love black cats. I think they're beautiful. My friend Jen has a black cat. I can't remember her name right now, but she was so sweet. Jinxie. Jinxie was her name. I tried to pretend. Well, I guess I betrayed. I mean, befriended a friend astray in trouble. Jinxie. Jinxy. Aw, cats are for good luck and adored in all cultures. Yeah. Thank you. I wonder how long I've been talking for. I was just saying that I love black cats, and I've never had cats before. Um, I had Tyler, who was a dog, and Stony, who was a tortoise, and we had, a bunch of fish. Um, but um, I never really we like I never had cats before. I had been around them, but I didn't have any myself. I appreciate you telling me. I had no idea. I was pressing the button to turn the camera and muted myself. So yeah, so Trouble and Capio are my first kitties. Trouble and Trouble's a lot like a dog. Well, now I have cats. That's the thing. I have two cats actually, Capio and Trouble. So, you know, life turns around like the wheel card in tarot. So it's nice having both of them. And yeah, honestly, like, Trouble is very dog-like. He's very much an ENFJ too. He doesn't like to be alone. And he doesn't want others to be alone either. It's cute. That's why he's hanging out with me right now. No, he's not that good. He's not that dog like first last. I mean, he's most definitely a cat, but he begs for food basically like a dog. He has lots of energy like a dog too. He doesn't get the zoomies anymore because he's elderly. He's an older dog. He's an older dog. He's an older cat. He used to be very aggressive, but now he's not as aggressive. He used to be aggressive. Then animal control neutered him, and he came back less aggressive, and that's when he befriended me. An older dog for sure. Oh, the weed that we got is really good. I'm definitely stoned right now. Like, it feels amazing. It's been a while. What's a song that has "It's Been a While" in it? Is it that Nickelback song? Oh my god. I was so into that song as a kid. I was like, I don't know, 15 when that Nickelback song came out, I think. Oh, the next stuff was so terrible. I get, you can only imagine what my mind is thinking about right now, like where it wandered to. My mind wandered to a person who's in the media a lot lately. Okay, for the four of you watching right now, who wants a tarot card read? First, last, would you like a read? I can give you one card. Cool. The burritos were delicioso. Thank you for asking, Putty Cat. How are you? Okay. First, last. You get the Knight card. This card is an original for this deck. Look how pretty it is. The person's sleeping. The moon is out. You're like venturing out into the night with your blanket in hand, and night jammies on. There's a tree, and you're in a river of emotions. I'm good, thanks, Putty Cat. That's what you got first last night. You can read what it says from the book. The night comes when you need it most. It is the place for you to sink into and escape. The long day is coming to an end, but the night allows you to extend it to draw the time out. While everyone else sleeps, you will work. Use the night to its fullest. The moon slows down the clock for you, so you may have the time you need to face problems ahead. That's what the night was. Okay, so did you understand though that what the night says is like rest and rejuvenation brings you all that you need. The night is there for you, and you may be up while others are sleeping. I think I'm gonna end this soon because there's only 4 left in about. I'll give you another card. Do you have a specific question? A specific question? First, last? I'll ask it the specific question and give you more detailed of an answer. One jumped out. I'll take it for you. Justice. Number 11. Okay. So in the tarot, swords mean air, which means thinking. So you're heavily thinking about what's fair and just and true. That's your scale. It seems to be tipping like a little bit. And your eyes are either shadowed by your bangs or you're actually got a mask on. And you are only using your mind to make this judgment about this person. This person could be anything. It could be your job. It could be like a close person to you, like a family member, a friend, even someone who you're romantically interested in. Even like me, like, or the stream. And you are using your intuition with good thinking. It's pretty, like the pink cloud is usually good luck. Pink sky at night, sailor's delight. And it looks like evening time because it's yellow. But it's like, don't mess with her, right? Because these red spokes here like are here to say, all right, I have time to think to see if things are just or not. To think if things are just or not. don't even try to like come close to me. Hey, Ruben R. What's goodly did? Sounds like Ned Flanders. You can be next. This is root first last. So that's your explanation for justice first last. You're welcome. You're welcome. I enjoy doing tarot card readings. So Jonathan Earl, you're next. It's a major arcana too, so it's something like that's important to you. Yeah, me too, Acacia, 100%. I was like so disappointed in her. I'm using the one that you and Ruben gave us. The Cosmic Slumber Tarot. Oh, there's a card that's missing. Acacia, this is your card. 7 of Pentacles. It's a pink sky, so it's dusk. And you're thinking, like, it's interesting because these pentacles are kind of like making a question mark. So you see all your material goods, all the things that you have, the gifts, but you're like, okay, what can I do with them? The sun is peeking through, but you don't know if it's like, it looks like it's dusk, so it's like the clouds coming in to cover it, but you're thinking well about it. The pink sky is reflecting onto the tree and making it pink too, and it's clashing but coordinating with the green and the hills, and you're just like really thinking about like, how should I invest in my life? What can I do with the things that I have? And use it to make things get greener. Like I have to make a decision. Decisions are coming. Things have already been put in place, and this is about you have some hills ahead that are like new, and you're above all of it, but time is ticking. So you have to. So you're taking a serious look at what you can do next with what you have materially done for yourself. Ooh, pink and green, your favorite colors? That's cool. Rivera, I love that. I just voted Mr. Big on account of the Nito name. I honestly can't see the poll. So I can't see the chat on the phone at all. So I don't even know who's winning. It's not religious, it's entertainment, Frog Lord. I can do it for you as well, but Jonathan Earl is next. So do you like me to know my birthday or anything about me? Sure. What is your birthday, Jonathan Earl? Ruben R is the neatest, says Acacia. No, I don't. I believe they work hand in hand. And this is just entertainment. It's just for fun. These are cards that have things that could be representing something that's going on with you physically, spiritually, mentally. Earthly, June 26th. So is that Cancer? 1981. So that's Rooster. Are you a Cancer? Am I right? I don't. June 26, 1981. Okay, Cancer. June 26, 1981. A friend introduced me to it. She had a deck herself, and then like she let me do a reading for her friend. Oh, the cuteness between Rubinar and Acacia. Okay, Jonathan Earl. This one popped up for you. King of Cups. Cups represents Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. And you're the king. You're the king of your feelings. Look at you. You're like basically sleeping with your crown on your head, sun in the background. It's a cloudy day. It's gloomy too, so that sun isn't that strong, but it's shining on you, and you got your cup, and you're like, yeah, I'm the king of my emotions. The fish are happy to be working for you, to be acting as agents for the king to enjoy his pleasures. You are emotionally mature. You believe that expressing your emotions is a natural part of being a human being. And when there's waves and chaos around you, you keep it cool. Pentacles represents Virgo, Acacia. So the 7 of Pentacles that you got represents Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. Yeah. And in I just learned actually that in tarot, the Hermit card is a representative of Virgo. The Hermit card, yeah, the Hermit card is representative of Virgo. My grandma La Pelosa was a Virgo, and she stayed inside a lot. I hope that resonated with you, Jonathan Earl. Okay, so Frog Lord, you're next. Yeah, like what a like a coincidence, you know? Where does your family stem from? Yugoslavia, Serbia, perhaps? I'm half Italian. I'm glad, Jonathan Earl. So I am half Italian on my dad's side, and Czech and Polish and British on and Irish on my mom's side. Okay, so Ruben R, would you like a reading for yourself? I could just do it if you're not here, and maybe Acacia, if you want to tell him what he gets, that would be cool. You're welcome, Jonathan Earl. Ooh. These two fell out, so I'll read them for myself. So this is the Ace of Torches. So I'm seeing through the dark. I believe in a new chapter. I think SE is the way to go with this. Oh no. I see is the way to go with this. But I'm anxious and like I should be sleeping, but when I'm sleeping, I'm like anxious about things. And I'm like, it feels like someone's stabbing me in the back with something. Why? Like, look at that red. Like, I'm wearing red right now, right? Like, oh no, the frustration, the thoughts in my head. Why? I'm worried. But like, I do believe that there's some newness in the light of the information that I've been given, the path that I could take in the dark. I'll use this new idea, this new thought, this new practical way of thinking to go forward and take me out of this just anxious thoughts all over the place. I'm anxious thoughts all over the place. I'm sleeping like this at night. Like literally, I've been sleeping on my stomach like this at night. Renar's next. Yeah, 9 swords. It's like, no, sleepless nights. I had this like crazy dream the other night where I was in a city and I thought it was New York City, but it didn't look anything like New York City. And I was like trying to find my way home, but I like kept on getting lost. It's a city that I think is in New York City, but it's not New York City. It doesn't look anything like New York City, except for maybe a little bit of like the downtown area. The windy streets. Rubenar. Pretty Cat, you can be next. I'm gonna turn off the stream. Who's winning? I don't see the poll up anywhere. It's not working. Who's winning, Mr. Big or he's sleeping. I'm gonna be joining him. Ruben. Ruben's getting a card. Yes, he's getting a card. Ruben R. You have a couple that want to come out, but I'm taking one. You're the Princess of Pentacles. Your hair is getting longer. And you're holding your material goods tightly in your hands, but like lovingly. And there's a bull, which is one of the signs of Earth, like hanging out with you, who's got your back. And the birds are here at the same time, and they're pink. And they kind of match Acacia's scene of the pink and green also. But it's so lush, and there's so much goodness like going around you right now, like in the material world, in the here and now. And you're looking back at things being like, wow, like I've achieved so much over and look at what I've got. and look at like how bountiful it is right now for me. Things are blossoming and they're pink. I do like to go fishing. I get frustrated when I don't catch any fish, but which is like ridiculous. I should really like let it go. But I do like to fish. Mexican burritos have been eaten. They are gone. I'll do one for Eric. Two. It's just that you came in the wrong time. They were delicious. Eric thought that they were a little spicy, the Mexican. Okay, Elanax. I was wondering if you wanted one for you too. Eric is next. Seven of Swords. He's got a lot on his mind. He's got 3 thoughts in front of him of like contingency plans, the thing he could do, and then like 2, 3 that he's sure of, and 1 he's like sort of balancing on his knee, like what the heck is that? And the cloud is like red kind of, so it's kind of like full of like stability issues because red is represented by the root chakra, and there's pink, but it's like unsettling underneath, like things will be okay, things will be okay, but he's worried. He's looking behind him, but he's like smiling as if like he's got it under control. And the sky is pink too, and so it's like you can't tell if it's like the moon, so it's like dusk. Eric is my husband. All right, Elon Axe. You got the Queen of Cups. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. It's like you're like the little mermaid, like yes. Or not, you're not the little mermaid, her, like Ariel, but you're a mermaid and you're like, yes, I'm on the shore and I've I just drank every last drop of that water and it's so good. And I could feel my emotions. I'm living in the emotions. And look at the things behind me, underneath me. Look at the beautiful seashells and sea living creatures that are a part of my life. I wear a cape too. I'm regal. The sun is going down and the sky is gray, but I don't even notice. I can just admire how intelligent I am and just go with the flow. Well, you could be ignoring your stress because you look pretty relaxed in this picture. Maybe you should be focusing on, the sky is gray, so and there's clouds, so it may rain. You don't want to be hanging out on that little piece of land too long if you want to stay dry. Okay, I think I'm going to peace out. I'm glad to hear it, Elon Max. Glad to hear it. Thank you, Ruben R. and Acacia, for this deck. Thanks, guys, for being here. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese.